This story is a little juicy, Jalen. There's a lot of layers to this one. Our colleague and our friend of the show, Jackie MacMullan.
The legend.
She just posted something on ESPN.com that's very interesting about the Nets and Kyrie Irving. She said that there's an unspoken concern amongst the Nets that makes them uneasy. Here's what else she wrote. She wrote, quote, "When Irving lapses into these funks, he often shuts down, unwilling to communicate with the coaching staff, front office, and sometimes even his teammates." Nets team sources say one such episode occurred during Brooklyn's trip to China, leaving everyone scratching their heads as to what precipitated it. Jalen, there's also some interesting details about him refusing to take a hat off in a photo shoot, telling the Nets to Photoshop his hat off later. A little weird. Now, we've Jackie MacMullan. Where'd she live?
Boston.
Right outside Boston. She covers the Celtics very closely. Where did Kyrie play last year?
Celtics.
So she's not new to Kyrie Irving. Jalen, is this something that we're going to be hearing more about as the season goes on?
So I have to say this because it's really important. For anybody that has siblings, that has friends, that's played on a team, there are going to be some aloof personalities in the locker room, in the house.
I'm going to take it beyond that. Anyone who's worked in a group environment, personal dynamics just change all the time.
And when this is what you do for a living, certain people behave different at their job than they behave in their personal time. So when he's on wax with his team, I'm pretty sure, like anybody else, there's going to be emotional ebbs and flows. There's going to be days where he has a mood, and we all adjust as teammates. That's just how life works. That's what being a part of a family or a kinship work, because ultimately you're trying to get to your ultimate goal. And lastly, he's really talented at basketball.
Yeah, when you score 50 points, you can act whatever you want.
Correct.
Yeah. You want to take your hat off? Cool. Go ahead and drop 50. That's fine.
I'm going to tell you who Kyrie is sort of morphing into. Kobe without Shaq. A lot of stuff that I'm seeing and hearing. Like a high-volume shooter, an elite scorer. Of course, he's not going to play above the rim like Kobe Bryant. Nobody is. But these moves that you're seeing, like elite level oohs and ahs. And so for Kobe, you remember he got criticized for the exact same thing. How he behaved with his teammates. Whether he
a little bit different. He was less aggressive than aloof, sort of like Kyrie is. But these sort of things came out. Now, one thing I want to talk to you about, which is an angle in this column, was they talked about the relationship between Jordan and Durant and Kyrie and how it formed during the Olympics. And there's a little bit of like a hope from the Nets that Durant will sort of help ease this, that this will be one of the responsibilities that Durant takes on. What do you think about that?
He ain't trying to deal with that. I guarantee you that in his head, he's not waking up today thinking, I'm going to do what I can to change Kyrie. Or I'm going to give him some advice on how he should behave.
We had a quote where he was like, Kyrie's an artist. You know what I mean? When you use the word artist, it's like, oh, okay. It's like when you book a musical artist for your guests, you're like, oh, they might show up at 10, they might show up at 10:30. Correct. Like, they're an artist.
Correct.
You know?
Like Lauryn Hill. You go to the concert, you know what you're getting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing when Kansas booked Snoop Dogg. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people underestimate, though KD, in theory, is considered the OG in the dynamic because he's played in the league a lot longer. Kyrie was the lead recruiter to the Nets, not the other way around. So based on that dynamic, I'm pretty sure they see themselves as a parallel, and I don't believe KD's going to take it upon himself to try to change Kyrie.
I feel a bit of a responsibility to mention that in the article there was a lot of examples of him being a great leader and teaching some of the younger people on the Nets and his work ethic. Like this was not a Kyrie has mood swings piece. This was Kyrie's role with the Nets, both positive and negative.
This is why I need to get on the telephone and get Kyrie Irving on our program.
Okay.
So that we can ask him. Because in a family dynamic, in a team dynamic, you're going to have unique personalities. Yeah. And if that person just so happens to be your best player, you deal with it.
I've been dealing with your weirdness for 8 years now, man. Talk about dynamics, quirks, please. Joel Embiid showed up. He had a great game, 36 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. Jalen, should we sort of expect these type of performances from Embiid at this point in his career?
Of course, absolutely. Joel Embiid is as talented as any player in the entire game at any position. Look at a 7-footer at 270 pounds, pump faking at the three, which means he can make that shot, jab step, putting it on the deck, and then dunking over the top.
He had a pass
of anybody that was in his way.
He had a pass between his own legs to Ben Simmons in this game. He is talented.
He is so very talented. And the one thing that the Sixers did is I'm calling the reverse Benjamin Button effect. I was at the game when they played against the Pistons. Joel Embiid wasn't able to perform in that game. So you bring in Al Horford. And now all of a sudden you have the older guy supplementing minutes for the younger guy as he load manages during the season.
Jalen,
so now he comes back against Atlanta and has a big game.
Throwback segment, explain the plot to Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button is the guy that as he started to get older, it seems like he looked younger and more spry.
Just stop it. So you know who looks young and spry? Trae Young, Eastern Conference Offensive Player of the Week. He had 25 and 9 assists, but he also did this, Jalen Rose. Josh Richardson, great defender. Josh straight up ran the wrong way. Like, it's one thing to break ankles. He got Josh Richardson running the wrong way. Has anyone ever done that to you?
Well, I didn't play defense.
You didn't play defense, so that's
So you won't see any footage of that happening to me. You won't see me getting dunked on. But here's what I don't want people to sleep on. He did the cross. And normally most people would have kept driving with his left hand. He pulled up.
Oh yeah, from deep. Another thing I want people to not sleep on is there was a pick there, so Richardson's just trying to get over the pick.
Correct.
It's not like crossing somebody up in the open court.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.